Hey there, fellow explorers. Ready to uncover some of the weirdest and most jaw-dropping facts about Russia? Russia isn't just another country. It's even bigger than an entire planet. It's a place where there are at least 15 nameless cities, so secret, not even Russians know where they are. Or a place where beer wasn't considered alcohol until 2011, because apparently, that stuff's just water to them. Welcome to the land where people casually bathe in 10 degrees Celsius like it's a spa day, where bears are basically oversized bunnies. And oh yeah, owning a tank? Totally legal. Oh, and did we mention their fighter jets come with convertibles now? Buckle up, because we're diving into the weirdest, wildest, and most only in Russia facts that'll make you laugh, gasp, and maybe question reality a little. Let's start with just how ridiculously massive this country really is. Ever wondered just how big Russia is? Well, imagine this, a land so vast that flying non-stop for 8 hours wouldn't even get you out of its borders. With a staggering 17 million square kilometers, Russia makes up about 1/9 of the Earth's surface. That's right, it's bigger than Pluto. 16.6 million square kilometers to be exact. But here's the catch. While this giant nation might look like a dream on the map, about 77% of its land is frozen solid. Yep, a vast icy wilderness that you'd be lucky to survive. It's bigger than the US and Canada combined, and yet it's mostly covered in snow and ice. In fact, if you wanted to drive from the westernmost point to the easternmost part of Russia, it would take you around 10 to 12 days of continuous driving. But wait, there's more. This country isn't just big, it's time-bending big. Welcome to the land of bears, borscht, and a brain-breaking 11 time zones. Imagine this. You're eating breakfast at 8 a.m., call your friend on the other side of your country, and it's already dinner time for them. Scheduling Zoom calls here, absolute nightmare. And here's the wild part. Russia doesn't just span continents, it straddles them. You can literally start your morning in Europe and end your day in Asia without ever leaving the country. That's not travel. That's teleportation, Russian style. Oh, and about neighbors. Russia shares land borders with 16 countries, more than any other country on Earth. That includes Norway, China, North Korea, even a tiny piece of Poland. Fun fact, if you're counting only United Nations recognized countries, it's 14. But Russia also borders 2 breakaway regions, Abkhazia and South Ossetia, that it officially recognizes. So, 14, 16, take your pick. Basically, if the Earth were a pizza, Russia took almost half the slices. Russia, where vodka is basically water and men are an endangered species. Imagine living in a place where vodka isn't just a drink, it's practically a lifestyle. In Russia, vodka is so deeply woven into the culture that even the word vodka itself comes from voda, the Russian word for water. Coincidence? Definitely not. And they drink it like it is water, straight. No chaser, no ice. Just pure fire down the throat, at breakfast, lunch, dinner, and maybe as a nightcap. It's not just a drink, it's a national pastime. But it doesn't stop there. Until 2013, Russians didn't even consider beer to be an alcoholic beverage. Let that sink in. For years, beer in Russia was basically just sparkling bread water. You could buy it at street kiosks, drink it in parks, and nobody would bat an eye. It was like soda, just with more questionable life choices. Now, here's where it gets darker. The average Russian drinks about 18 liters of pure alcohol per year. That's nearly double what health experts call the danger zone. As a result, around 500,000 deaths in Russia each year are linked to alcohol. And tragically, 1 in 4 Russian men don't live past the age of 55. Want to know how bad it really is? The average life expectancy for Russian men is just 63 years, lower than in North Korea or Iraq. Meanwhile, Russian women are living it up to 75 years on average. That's a 12-year gap. One of the biggest gender life expectancy gaps in the world. Yep, vodka may be smooth going down, but it's ruthless in the long run. And because of this early exit strategy adopted by so many men, Russia now has about 11 million more women than men. That's not a dating gap. That's a demographic crisis. According to population experts, it's not because Russia has fewer baby boys. It's because Russian men are literally drinking themselves into extinction. So the next time you raise a glass of vodka, maybe say a little toast to the resilience of Russian livers and the women who outlive them. Russia's twin boom, and one man who fathered a small village. Okay, so Russia isn't just wild when it comes to vodka. Turns out they're also weirdly good at making twins. In fact, Russia holds the world record for the most twins ever born. In some places like the town of Denisova, the twin birth rate is twice the global average. Locals have joked that there must be something in the water. Maybe it's all that vodka. Who knows? What's even crazier? There are families in Russia with 3 generations of twins in a row, which is practically a genetic lottery win. But wait, we're just getting started. Back in the 18th century, a Russian woman named Valentina Vasilyev took the phrase supermom to a whole new level. Over 40 years, she gave birth to 16 sets of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets. That's 69 children, with the same husband. Yep, same guy. His name? Fyodor Vasilyev. Clearly a man with Olympic-level fertility. And just when you thought he'd hang up his boots, Fyodor went on to have 18 more kids with wife number 2. In total, the guy fathered 87 children, and shockingly, 82 of them survived, which for the 1700s is insane. Honestly, at this point, Fyodor didn't just build a family. He built a workforce. Russian women, national treasures. With supermodel standards. Russia isn't just known for its brutal winters and endless vodka. It's also famous for something a lot more breathtaking. Its women. In fact, Russia is often called the homeland of the most beautiful women on Earth. Even the legendary French writer Alexandre Dumas once said that the beauty of Russian women is a national treasure. And let's be honest, he wasn't wrong. But here's the plot twist. 95% of Russian women don't think they're beautiful. Why? Because in Russia, beauty standards are so high it's like trying to win Miss Universe just to go buy milk. In Russia, being just pretty isn't enough. You also have to be smart, independent, and strong enough to wrestle a bear. Metaphorically, or maybe literally, it's Russia after all. So yeah, in a place where supermodels are basically walking around as baristas or engineers, it's no wonder that confidence can take a hit. But make no mistake, Russian women are more than just looks. They're sharp, fierce, and resilient, just like the country they come from. Wanna offend a Russian man? Try splitting the bill. If you ever find yourself on a date in Russia, do not, I repeat, do not, reach for your wallet. In many places around the world, splitting the bill is totally normal. In fact, in some countries, it's even expected. But in Russia, that's basically like saying, I don't trust you to be a real man. Russian guys grow up with a rule burned into their DNA. If you're out with me, I pay. Period. Try to argue? Nope. Insist on paying for your latte? Don't even think about it. Some Russian men see that as a direct insult. It's not about the money, it's about pride, tradition, and that whole provider mindset. One Russian dude once said, if a woman tries to pay for herself, I feel like she's saying I'm broke. Brutal, maybe, but hey, that's how deep it runs. So ladies, if you're dating in Russia, just smile, say thank you, and let him cover it. You'll save the night and his ego. The Russian beard tax, a really hairy situation. Let's talk about beards. Not just your average, I forgot to shave look, but the kind of beards that could actually cost you money. Before Peter the Great came along and shook up Russia in the 16th century, there was this wild thing called the beard tax. Yep, you heard that right. A tax on beards. If you were a man in Russia and decided to let your facial hair grow wild, guess what? You'd owe the government cash. Where did this strange tax come from, you ask? Well, Peter the Great had a little adventure during his travels through Europe. There, he noticed something shocking. No one had beards. Europeans were living their best lives, clean-shaven, suave, and sophisticated. So Peter thought, why should Russia be any different? And thus, the beard tax was born. Want to rock a full-on beard? You'll have to pay up. The longer your beard, the higher the tax. She welcomes strangers. To her bed? The shocking Eskimo tradition. The Eskimo people are legendary for their toughness and ability to survive the harshest cold on Earth. But there's one shocking tradition that sets them apart. To show hospitality to guests, Eskimo women would sleep with strangers. Now, don't get the wrong idea. This wasn't about desire. It was about survival. In the extreme conditions they lived in, many children didn't make it to adulthood, so the tribe used this ritual as a way to keep their lineage alive. In a world where cold and death were constant threats, this strange tradition was their way of ensuring the future. Russia, a world of languages you didn't know existed. Russia isn't just a country, it's a linguistic universe. With its vast territory and scattered population, it's no surprise that Russia boasts 35 official languages besides Russian itself. Imagine traveling to a country where every region might have a totally different language. It's like visiting a whole new country with each stop. And this diversity doesn't just impress tourists, but it even leaves many locals scratching their heads. Here's a mind-blower. Russia has a population of over 146 million people, representing more than 190 ethnic groups. And with over 100 minority languages, it's one of the most linguistically diverse countries on the planet. But wait, it gets even crazier. Did you know Russia has the rarest language in the world? It's called Ter-Sami, and right now, only 2 people on the Kola Peninsula still speak it. That's right, 2 people. The wild Russian tradition of ice swimming. Every January 19th, Russia holds a unique festival that only the bravest souls dare to join. The tradition of ice swimming. Yes, you heard that right. Thousands of Russians dive into icy holes cut into frozen lakes and rivers, all with the belief that this chilling experience will purify their souls and boost their health for the entire year. But not everyone is doing it for health. Some folks take the plunge simply to push their limits and conquer their own fears. In Moscow and the surrounding areas alone, over 200,000 people take part in this frosty ritual. And it doesn't stop there. In Siberia, where temperatures can plunge to a bone-chilling 40 to 50 degrees Celsius, people are still diving into the freezing waters without hesitation. Now that's dedication. This ice-cold tradition is believed to have roots in the Orthodox Christian Epiphany celebration, marking the day when Jesus was baptized in the Jordan River. In true Russian style, they take this spiritual event and add a twist of freezing fun. So, if you ever find yourself in Russia in January, don't forget to pack your swimsuit, and maybe a thermal suit to survive the experience. Driving dirty in Russia, that'll cost you. Picture this. You're cruising down the Russian highways in a dust-covered car that looks like it's been through a mudstorm. You might think you're flying under the radar, but the Russian police have zero tolerance for dirty cars. If your license plate is hard to read or you're making the streets look messy, prepare for a $16 fine. It's like they take clean car as seriously as clean streets. And hey, who can blame them? Russia's most elite workforce has whiskers. At the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg, home to over 3 million priceless works of art, you might expect to find historians, curators, and security guards on duty. But guess what? The real MVPs of this world-famous museum? Cats. Yep, cats. About 70 of them. These feline employees have one very important job: keep the rats away. With that many masterpieces inside, there's no room for rodents. And these 4-legged guardians take their work seriously. This isn't some recent quirk either. The tradition dates all the way back to Peter the Great, who personally brought the first Hermitage cats from Holland. And the job perks? Oh, they're living the dream. These cats have their own hospital, a custom kitchen, and, no joke, a personal secretary. We're not saying they run the place, but we're not saying it either. So yeah, if you ever visit the Hermitage, don't be surprised if one of its fur-covered employees casually struts past a Van Gogh like it owns the gallery. Because in a way, it kinda does. Moscow's underground wonderland. Not just a subway, it's a masterpiece. Think your city's subway is impressive? Think again. Moscow's metro isn't just a way to get from point A to point B. It's a full-blown underground palace that moves a mind-blowing 9 million people every single day. That's about 3/4 of Moscow's entire population hopping on the metro, every single day. To put that into perspective, that's more riders than London and New York City combined. The system stretches over 203 miles and includes 196 stations. 10 of those are above ground, and 5 run across bridges, offering rare scenic views you won't find in most subways. But here's the real showstopper. The stations themselves are literal museums underground. We're talking chandeliers, marble columns, bronze statues, and gold-trimmed mosaics that make you forget you're waiting for a train. One of the most iconic pieces? A bronze dog statue at Revolution Square Station, Ploshchad Revolucji. Locals believe rubbing its nose brings good luck, and you'll often see commuters giving it a quick pat before heading off to work. So yeah, in Moscow, the daily commute feels more like a walk through a royal gallery than a crowded train ride. Riding the metro here isn't just transportation, it's an experience. The Trans-Siberian Railway, the ultimate train journey. Across 8 time zones. Want to experience the longest train ride in the world? Hop aboard the Trans-Siberian Railway. Stretching a staggering 9,289 kilometers, this isn't just any railway, it's the longest single-track route in the world. Spanning across 8 time zones and taking a whole 7 days to complete, this epic journey connects Europe to Asia, offering breathtaking views that are nothing short of mesmerizing. Imagine passing through majestic birch forests that stretch endlessly, vast steppe grasslands rolling out like a golden carpet, the towering Ural Mountains in the distance with their snow-capped peaks, and the world-famous Lake Baikal, the deepest freshwater lake in the world. Its crystal-clear blue waters so stunning, they'll leave you speechless. But that's not all. The railway even has branches extending into Mongolia, China, and North Korea. This journey is more than just a train ride. It's an unforgettable adventure through one of the most remote, beautiful, and rugged regions in the world. Here's the kicker. The Trans-Siberian isn't just a scenic ride. It's the lifeblood of Russia's economy. The railway passes through regions that hold 80% of Russia's industrial potential and is responsible for transporting about 30% of the country's exports. For over 100 years, this railway has been the heartbeat of Siberia, running day and night, and it will continue to play a crucial role in connecting the Russian heartland for centuries to come. Russia, the energy superpower you didn't know about. Did you know that Russia is the world's energy titan? We're talking about some seriously mind-blowing resources here. Russia sits on the largest oil and natural gas reserves on the planet, plus an insane stockpile of gold and diamonds. There's a good chance that the fuel in your car, whether you're in the United States or Europe, came from one of Russia's vast oil fields. But wait, it gets crazier. Russia has the longest oil and gas pipeline system in the world, stretching nearly 30 million kilometers. That's 6 times the circumference of Earth. Can you imagine that? And if you're into forests, Russia's got the largest forest area on Earth. The taiga, that's the vast boreal forest, stretches across a massive chunk of the country. And the lakes in Russia? They hold 25% of the world's fresh water that's not frozen. The crown jewel? Lake Baikal, the world's deepest freshwater lake, which alone holds 20% of the Earth's unfrozen fresh water. That's a whole lot of H2O. From snowy mountains and bubbling volcanoes in Kamchatka, where lava flows next to snow, to the majestic Caucasus Mountains and vast deserts, Russia is a natural powerhouse. It's no wonder the land of czars and ice is considered an energy superpower. It's not just about the oil. Russia holds a literal treasure chest of natural wonders and resources that fuel the world. Meet Stepan, Russia's most lovable house bear. Yep, in Russia, pet bears are a real thing. And Stepan is the king of them all. Raised by a couple after being abandoned as a cub, this 440-pound gentle giant has lived like family for over 20 years. He watches TV, cuddles on the couch, and downs 55 pounds of food a day, without flipping a single table. But here's the wild part. To help with the grocery bill, Stepan got a job. Thanks to his fluffy charm and massive presence, he's now a professional model for Russian photographer Mila Jdanova. He poses, he smiles, he steals hearts, and yes, he gets paid. From abandoned cub to bear influencer, only in Russia. From Mars cold to Miami hot. Welcome to Weather Roulette Russian Edition. If you think your local weather is wild, wait till you hear about Russia, where the climate goes from freeze your eyelashes off to beach body season real quick. In the tiny Siberian town of Oymyakon, The temperature once dropped to a bone-shattering 71.2 degrees C. For perspective, that's colder than the surface of Mars. Yep, actual Mars. In winter, cars can't even run unless they're kept in heated garages 24/7. And don't even think about your phone. It'll give up faster than your New Year's resolutions. But don't pack your parka just yet. Travel south to Sochi, and suddenly you're in a sun-soaked beach resort with temperatures reaching a balmy 30 degrees in the summer. It's not just warm, it's luxury warm. This coastal city has become the go-to playground for Russia's elite, where billionaires trade snow boots for speedboats. Russia banned lacy underwear? Seriously. In 2014, Russia dropped a bombshell. Lace underwear was banned. Why? The government required all undies to have at least 6% cotton for health reasons. Translation: no more sexy lace. The ban sparked outrage across Russia, Kazakhstan, and Belarus. Women literally protested in the streets because comfort is great, but freedom starts with your underwear. Turns out, in Russia, you can survive 70-degree winters, but not without your lace panties. The beautiful lake that can kill you in 5 minutes. Looks peaceful, doesn't it? Crystal blue water, calm surface, like a postcard from Siberia. But Lake Kerachche in Russia isn't a vacation spot. It's a death trap with a shoreline. Just standing next to it for 5 minutes can give you a lethal dose of radiation. That's right, 5 minutes and your body starts shutting down. Why? Because this lake is located inside the Mayak Production Association, one of the Soviet Union's largest and most secretive nuclear facilities, and also one of its most contaminated. Back in the day, the Soviets dumped tons of radioactive waste directly into the lake. The result? A place so toxic birds drop dead mid-flight over it. No joke. Moscow and St. Petersburg, the twin jewels of Russia. A journey through Russia wouldn't be complete without immersing yourself in its two legendary cities, Moscow and St. Petersburg. These cities are the soul of the country, each radiating its own unique charm and grandeur. Moscow, the heart of Russia, pulses with history and power. At its center lies the Red Square, an iconic symbol of the country's strength, where history echoes through the cobblestones. Standing proudly nearby is the St. Basil's Cathedral, with its vibrant onion domes that look like something straight out of a fairy tale. Just a few hours away, St. Petersburg offers its own regal beauty. The Winter Palace, now home to the renowned Hermitage Museum, is one of the largest art collections in the world. Walking through its halls is like stepping into a time capsule of royal opulence. And no visit would be complete without experiencing Peterhof Palace, often called the Russian Versailles, where magnificent fountains and lush gardens stretch as far as the eye can see, giving you a glimpse of royal indulgence. Well, that's a wrap on these fascinating facts about Russia. From its stunning natural landscapes to its colorful history, Russia truly is a land full of wonders waiting to be explored. We hope you enjoyed the journey with us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep discovering more amazing things from around the world.